violence or no other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Today marks 2 months since an Atlanta woman was last seen, and her family is desperate for answers.
As Fox 5's Kim Loeffler found out, they're pleading for anybody with information about what happened to come forward.
She's a great person. It's kind of hard to be talking about her as if she's not here.
Tiffany Clark says the last few months have been incredibly tough for her family, not knowing where her sister Ashley Lawless has gone.
As time has went on and we really still have no clues as to where she is or...
So, unfortunately, this is another example of black girl magic where we have these sisters just disappearing out of nowhere. And a lot of people want to blame white supremacy. A lot of people want to say, oh, well, it's probably the Klan kidnapping them. But I'm going to tell you what, man, I wouldn't be surprised if you could just chalk it up to some guy she's dealing with, got upset. One thing led to another. He deletes her. And then because this isn't his first time doing so, he finds a way to get rid of her body and, be off scot-free. This is what it appears to look like to me, honestly. And I do wish them the best in their search. But after all this time, it just seems kind of hopeless as far as coming up with the woman still breathing, I mean, it's sad to say, but y'all know how pivotal the first 48 is, but I mean, it's been over 48 days at this point, so it's kind of tough.
Anything like that, we're just getting more on edge about her whereabouts. From day one, we've been very anxious to know where she is.
Atlanta police say the 37-year-old was last seen on January 17th along Campbellton Road in southwest Atlanta. They have not released any more information as to what may have happened or if foul play was involved.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Campbellton Road is very dangerous. You see a lot of super gremlins posted up on Campbellton Road, waiting at the bus stops, terrorizing people, asking people for $1. I mean, there's so much that can go down on Campbellton Road. And I mean, I was just on Campbellton, last weekend, and it was very hot. It was very hot. A lot of dudes posted up, a lot of trash on the sidewalks. This is Atlanta for you, and the community is not taking care of the parts in which we occupy, and it makes it unsafe for everyone.
Clark says they last heard from her around the last time she was seen as she was trying to get to Alabama to pick up her daughter from their mom. But Clark says their family hasn't stopped looking for her sister.
We're fighters and we're definitely looking for her, and we're hoping that she returns safely to us.
They're hoping someone knows something about what happened so her sister can be found. Ashley has 6 kids waiting for her back home. Today is her daughter's 12th birthday.
Her daughter's birthday is today, and she's the most affected right now because she's the youngest, and I don't think she understands where her mom is.
If you have any information on where Lawless may be, you're asked to call 911 or contact Atlanta Police. Kim Loeffler, Fox 5 News.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga did Quavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Tonight, we're learning more about the deadly shooting of an Atlanta man at a Buckhead restaurant. 22-year-old Nigel Collins was shot by police last year. His family is now demanding to meet with officials after watching new video from that night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tori Cooper. Atlanta News First reporter Yasmina Alston is live at Fogo de Chao, where the shooting happened originally. And Yasmina, what did the family tell you today?
Well, Tori Cullen's family and the Georgia NAACP say they've now watched some of the body cam footage from that night, and they say it paints a disturbing image of what happened.
We have grave concerns about what we see in this video.
Nearly a year after Nigel Collins was shot and killed by Atlanta police, his family and the Georgia NAACP say they're finally seeing some of the footage from that night.
Nigel was shot over 10 times.
All right, guys. So remember we did cover this story about Nigel. He spazzed out, had a what they're calling a mental health episode, and you know he pretty much crashed out, and I think he pulled a strap at the Fogo de Chao, ended up shooting a security guard if I'm not mistaken, and then the police laid his behind down. And now they got the NAACP, they got all these activists out here, and they're making a fuss of it. But he was completely in the wrong. Let's listen up.
A police officer fired at least 3 to 5 shots initially into Nigel, then paused and fired again.
Now they're demanding to meet with officials, including the Fulton County District Attorney.
What do we want?
And want all of the body cam footage released to the public.
We should not have to sit 10 months from the date of my son's passing to beg to be able to see body cam footage. To beg and ask, can we see the GBI report?
Dozens gathered outside of Fogo de Chao, the Buckhead restaurant where Collins was killed last May, calling for justice. The 22-year-old was killed when police responded to reports of an unruly customer with a gun. Collins' mom, Maya, told Atlanta News First last year she called 911 that same day pleading for EMS to respond because her son was having a mental health crisis. She says his death could have been prevented.
We asked for the district attorney to move swiftly in this case. Investigate it and do what is necessary and do right by the system. Give us the fair chance to make sure that Nigel's life wasn't in vain.
And the family says they'd also like to meet with Governor Brian Kemp to talk about this shooting. The case is still under investigation. Live in Buckhead, Yasmina Alston, Atlanta News First.
Now let's get to a developing story. This one's out of Cobb County. 3 teenagers are being charged as adults for armed robbery. Here's video. It shows, at this point, some of the teenagers we're seeing here. The chaos outside of the Wendy's where this all happened, we're being told. Police say they robbed a teenager near Six Flags after fights broke out inside the park. Let's get the latest on this now from Channel 2's Michelle Newell is at the Cobb County. Developing story. This one's out of Cobb County. 3 teenagers are being charged as adults for armed robbery. Here's video. It shows, at this point, some of the teenagers we're seeing here. The chaos outside of the Wendy's where this all happened, we're being told. Police say they robbed a teenager near Six Flags after fights broke out inside the park. Let's get the latest on this now from Channel 2's Michelle Newell is at the Cobb County Jail. She's our Cobb County Bureau Chief. And Michelle, 2 of those teens' families say they're innocent.
Well, here you go. You have the community defending each other even when they are in the wrong. Now, obviously, you're innocent until proven guilty, but what they just described, a robbery at Six Flags turning into an all-out brawl, I mean, for one, why are you robbing somebody at Six Flags? It doesn't make sense. Six Flags, I remember Six Flags being a place where you go have fun, you eat some funnel cake, some candy, you know, all types of stuff. Cotton candy, riding rides, and just having a blast. And now these super gremlins have come to these theme parks, just like when we broke down the Disney theme park brawl, and they're just terrorizing it. These super gremlins are on demon time.
They do. They've hired attorneys. We know a 17-year-old is here at the Cobb County Jail facing 4 felonies, but 2 other teenagers are at the juvenile facility just down the road. Their parents say they don't even know each other. They're innocent. They're in the process of hiring an attorney to fight these charges.
I want my son home. My son is innocent.
Michelle Favors' 16-year-old son is charged with armed robbery.
He played football for his school. He ran track. He played, he's the manager at his school for baseball.
This 15-year-old is charged with the same crime, but his mother and aunt told us he's innocent too.
Hey, these sisters ain't playing, man. I mean, when it comes time to get them babies out of jail, you know, they are first ones up, you know, even if these dudes are in the wrong. But at the same time, it's like, why are they in this situation in the first place? Like I always say, sisters, come get your kids.
He's a mentor with the City of Atlanta Camp Best Friends Summer program.
They're not affiliated with each other now. They know each other now because they've been incarcerated with each other for a whole week now.
3 teenagers were charged with armed robbery near Wendy's earlier this month. A 17-year-old is facing the most charges. He's accused of robbing a juvenile with a gun. But relatives of the other 2 teenagers say their kids weren't involved at all. The robbery allegedly happened near Six Flags over Georgia after fights broke out at the park earlier that night.
Fights broke out at the park. I mean, nobody's addressing that. Were your kids involved in the fight? I mean, we don't know, but what is going on to where you have to get the fighting at Six Flags? I know after some of these rides, you got a lot of adrenaline going and you're amped up and maybe you're even a little dizzy, but it doesn't excuse this type of behavior. And now it's just like, I used to love Six Flags, and now it's almost like I should be afraid of even visiting to ride my favorite rides.
All the kids that were going to Wendy's were waiting on like Lyft, Ubers, and parents to come and pick them up.
This video shows chaos that erupted at the Wendy's nearby. We blurred it because minors are involved.
My son, he was like, you know, they were just grabbing kids. They were just grabbing mom, and he was like, they grabbed me, but I got away.
Favors says her son is in the video trying to figure out what was going on, but she says he was arrested shortly later.
A young lady called my phone and said that my son was incarcerated with her son. They don't know each other. She said they didn't give my son a phone call. They didn't let him call his parent or anything, so she called me for him.
Cobb County Police got back to me telling me they charged all 3 teenagers based on physical evidence and eyewitness accounts. They told
physical evidence and eyewitness accounts. I mean, it looks like they weren't just grabbing people, Mom.
The teenagers are being charged as adults because weapons were involved. We have exclusive video of one of the arrests that happened that night. I'll have that story in the next hour. We're live from Cobb County. Michelle Newell, Channel 2 Action News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.